it's Noctis. Subscribe to Vincent Valentine EX Turk channel.
Hello, my Vincent Chaos. This is your king, not Vincent Valentine EX Turk. Got done with the Comic-Con special. So, before I have to go to the grocery store, I'm going to go ahead and finish this video. Top 5 things Final Fantasy 15 has done. Uncensored. Top 5 things that's uncensored under the radar. Meaning that it's censored, but it's still... Oh, I don't know how to put it away. It still has controversial stuff in it. Like every other Final Fantasy game. No duh. Every Final Fantasy game has 1 or 2 controversial things. So, we're going to be talking about the top 5 Final Fantasy 15 controversies that's in the current game. So, we're not going to bring up Versus 13, unless it has something to do with 15, or the Tetsuo normal version of 15. We're going to be bringing up the game that has been released. So, number 1. Shiva's naked breasts. Well, I wouldn't say naked. I mean half naked. She still kind of has like a little bra thing when she's summoned and things that cover up. But you do see a lot of crease lines and the bust lines. So, I mean, the only way they been able to get over the censorship is the fact that they put little covering things. And you only see like a 5-second animation of her. And then she gives enemies the kiss of death or the little whirlwind thing. So you only see 5 seconds of it. Which, got passed under the radar. For good reason. Got passed under the radar because, well, let's be honest, it's only 5 seconds and you do see something covering lips. Which is only 5 seconds. Even though this is a T-rated game, which Square Enix pounded. Because Final Fantasy 15 was supposed to be an M-rated game, but... they wanted to scrap that idea just to get more demographic playing Final Fantasy 15. That's Square Enix's policies on trying to actually gain, more notoriety, more people that can play it by not making it so age restricted. So, of course, they did put some extra strings. Now, this is not in order, but number 2, I think, is pretty much very controversial. Especially if you're familiar with the Bible. The verse that says, woe to the earth, when Satan sent down to the earth to cause destruction. The character Arden is pretty much the video game Final Fantasy incarnation of the devil. Because Bahamut says... when Arden is the catalyst. Arden is the catalyst of descended darkness to the world. And Star Scourge is like Armageddon. Except it's a disease that causes people to turn demons. Now, Arden controls the Star Scourge. And you know what that means? Arden's the king of demons. Right? And darkness has descended down to the sky. Woe to the earth. Just worded differently. Arden, Azunia, or Arden Lucius Kylam is pretty much Satan. Now, I guess it's not as controversial, but it's like, to people that are extremely religious, this might offend you. This might offend you. Just letting you know, this part of the second part of the game might offend you. Woe to the earth, darkness descending the earth, Arden, Azunia. And kind of be honest, Arden would kind of look... That's exactly what the devil's human form would look like. He'd be a charming man with long hair, tall, good looking, but he would only be your friend just to fuck you over in the end. And he does. And the only way to defeat him is to gain these holy powers, which takes the sacrifice of a king of light to do it. So, yes... there are a little bit of biblical overtones in the game as well. Which is a controversial thing that they were able to get under the radar. Because technically, there's no way you can censor that. I mean, let's be quite honest. If you were going to censor that stuff, then there wouldn't be no Devil May Cry games, in the first place. But so, it was under the radar. But made the game dark and gritty. Enough to actually make it dark even with the... Oh, sorry. Someone's texting me. Oh, stop. Okay. I wish people would just quit messaging me right now. I'm doing videos right now. But anyways, this is the only way they're gonna. This is the only way they, pretty much to make it dark and still keep it T-rated because, let's be quite honest. It's the only way to make it dark and T-rated at the same time. Because Final Fantasy 15 was supposed to be the darkest Final Fantasy and maturest Final Fantasy game out of the whole entire series, and it did just that. It did just that with it, Because that is, because those subjects are really maturing. Okay, next one, walking fan service. Let me switch the music. Let's see. Let me switch the music. I need to switch the music for this one. Okay, this works. This works right here. Walking fan service. Sydney. Now you cannot tell me, don't tell me no mechanic at Napa Auto Parts or AutoZone look like all the females that work at AutoZone or Napa Auto Parts look anything like Sydney. Let's be honest, she's walking fan service. Let's be quite honest. Don't get me wrong. If I had a chance and one night in bed with Sydney, I would take it. I would take it. I'd be like Prompto, I'm like, okay, alright, I see what you're parking the car there, okay. But no, Sydney is walking, Sydney is walking fan service. She got the brawl out with the jacket showing. You got to see that little lace thong and bend down to fix the car. And we grabbed the cocoa butter lotion and unlocked our limit break arbinger. But no, seriously. Seriously, she is definitely fan service. Walking fan service. Don't tell me no different. Now, she does play pivotal to the part. And she does have a story as well. Because they have to do that. That's the only way they can get away with, making her. If they was just making a regular fan service, well, the Social Justice Warriors won't like that at all. And Social Justice Warriors already had a beef with this game because of the taken out scene. Hence why they took up the Luna Freya scene when she gets beat up by the Niflheim Empire because, well, you know that. We gotta protect our female characters, which goes to number 3. The unreleased scene of Luna Freya getting beat up by General Glocka. Which I guess they could have took Glocka out. No, it was Niflheim soldiers. Sorry, their armor looks kind of similar, but in a way, they had to take it out because I don't know, but they just did. I mean, the SJWs weren't happy with this. They emailed Square Enix, and this is where Tabata got frustrated because he had to take out something that would make the game even darker. They also had to take out scenes where Luna Freya got sick because she was sick all through the game. She wasn't very well. She wasn't very healthy. Although things could be a lot worse because they could have taken the scene where Arden stabs Luna Freya and pulls a whole Sephiroth. You got Aerith. Now I might get disliked for that because that's very controversial. But you got Aerith. Pretty much they put that in there, so. But nonetheless, the unreleased footage was it wasn't graphic, but it was disheartening. So, that'd be number 3. Number 4, material relating to Versus 13. Because if you looked at Eos is since now they took out the Crystalium Novia, Eos is pretty much Etro, the goddess of death. Except this time they didn't make any of people in Salmia worship Eos, but Eos did some messed up things. She is breeding with the human and created the Lucius Kylian bloodline, which got her. If you go to the Piteos dungeon is the most darkest place in Final Fantasy 15 ever. Because if you really look at those statues, they actually play a good story. How Ifrit turned into what he is, how Arden turned into what he is, how the Star Scourge is, and what happened to Eos. Once you go into the Piteos dungeon and you get on Eos's front side, she falls all the way down with chains on her. So we know Eos died and paid for her crimes, which caused Ifrit to go mad. As well as one of the first Lucius Caeliums ever. One of the two first Lucius Caeliums, Arden, which makes Arden do what he does. One of the reasons why Arden does what he does. Because the Pedios Dungeon puts a darker story of everything that happened. It's not everything like the Squares is, like everything in Rama's head. Except Rama could have been there. It's actually everything in Ifrit's head. You see Eos tied down, and it falls down, lying down, so we assume she's dead. So Eos is Etro, so they do have references to Eos. And Eos, it pretty much is like Etro. Pretty much, Eos caused the plague to the world because she was never to breed with a human being, which caused the bloodline of the Lucius Caelium. That's why it took the sacrifice of the last Lucius Caelium to not only bring down Arden, but to end the Star Scourge once and for all. Which is very controversial. Very controversial. Another controversial thing would be the top 5 one, but it's not really top 5 because, again, this is not in specific order, but another controversial thing, or, you know, under the radar, uncensoring, was Veiwers' transformation. But what about all the other things? Well, Veiwers was supposed to be a Sith, since this was originally supposed to be Versus 13, a darker part of Final Fantasy 13. But if you look at Veiwers' transformation, it looks fucked up. I'm not gonna lie, it looks like something you see on the fucking deep web. And another reason why I hate Arden Azunia for what he did. Because that's some fucked up shit right there to make a human look like that. Nah, I'm disgusted at Arden for that shit. Nah, there's no forgiveness there. No character redeeming value at all. But it is very controversial because it looks really, really messed up. Even though all Siths are pretty much demons, and demons are a controversial subject, but, you know, in a game, because, well, it get all the religious snowflakes, panties, and a wand. But I think the Veiwers thing is a little bit more controversial because how messed up that looks. Like, I don't even want to know how the dude's made, which I think it might turn to M-rated if they have episode Arden and show episode Arden where Arden works on Veiwers like that. But it's like, good God, you thought Vincent Valentine being operated by Hojo, which wasn't actually seen, but it was hinted at. You thought that was pretty graphic. Oh, look. I mean, no wonder why Veiwers asked Noctis to kill him. I mean, no, that's the most fucked up thing ever. Like, oh my God, like, dude, it even had me cringe, like, what the fuck? It made me want to kill Arden even more and put it into the Star Scourge. It was really messed up. It was some messed up shit. I am not gonna lie. It was some fucked up shit. You know, so I just gotta say, yeah, that's one of the controversial things. And I'm gonna add a bonus number 6 that's controversial. Well, I wouldn't say it's controversial as more as progressive overtones, but in the city of Lestalem, all the females work in the power plant and all the men work all the food jobs, which it's more on the progressive end than it is on the controversial, but I guess it'd be controversial to the MRA people, but they were pushed to do that because, again, you know, you gotta please the social justice warriors, because social justice warriors do own the gaming industry. They're game journalists, most likely, and you do gotta appeal to them, so they kind of own you, so you have to do what you gotta do to make money. So they had to push some progressive overtones, which could be controversial depending on which side of political spectrum you are, or it could be something you like. So may the crystal be with you, and those are the top 5 uncensored controversial topics in the Final Fantasy 15.